is Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria in Watson's Route. Still. These are like the longest endings ever. And this is the epilogue. Holy crap, though. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just I can't time this properly. So this will probably be like 2 seconds. And then I'll be like, I could have had this in the last part, but whatever. Anyway, ahem. Later, in Holmes and Watson's office at 221B Baker Street, which is funny. So, like, Holmes Sr. and Watson Sr. just gave up 221B Baker Street. Like, you guys have this now. I'm just saying. So, you think you can just stay out all night and stroll in here in the morning like nothing happened, do you? Where have you been, Watson? Huh? Nowhere. Just achoo! A cold? It's not like you to get sick. I hope that's Miss Whitley who you spent the night with. I hope that Miss Whitley, who you spent the night with, doesn't have one too. I literally thought he was saying, I hope it was Miss Whitley you spent the night with. Like, damn, you think Watson's like that kind of person? Jeez. Yeah, so do I. Wait, what? How do you know that I was with her? Even by midnight, I hadn't heard a word from you. If you'd ended up caught up in something, I would have heard about it. But I heard nothing there either. In other words, you were in a situation where you deliberately didn't want to get in touch with me. In other words, you were with Miss Whitley. Seeing as how you were behaving yesterday was enough to clue me in, too. Still, I can't believe a budding doctor like you caught a cold. How shameful. It's not a cold. I bet it's just because Spacey was talking about me. You know, like saying how cool I was yesterday or something. That's very optimistic of you. I'm afraid it's probably more likely that Pendleton is in the middle of an abusive tirade about you. Still, I'm kind of worried about Spacey now, though. I'll have to go and check up on her later. You really don't listen, do you? Regardless, I have something important to discuss with you. Really? What is it? You sound serious. Well, while you were away, Kobayashi proved to be an exceptionally capable assistant. Despite his size, he handled manual labor even better than you know. His reports were always clear and concise, too. Wait a second! You don't mean I'm finished? Indeed. Thank you for your service all of these years. I am sure I'll never forget the friendship we had with one another. This is so harsh. I'm sorry! I won't fail to stay in touch again. I'll handle all the manual labor the best I can and... Teasing you is really fun. I look forward to sharing this joy with your life partner, Miss Whitley. Give me a break. Still, with how tall and well-built you are now, the cost of feeding you is triple what it costs to feed Kobayashi. So that's what they're trying to say, that, like, Watson grew up and the rest of them are, like... But nobody changed, like, all of a sudden it was, like, a month later and he's like, BAM! Shit, like you grew 5 years? Your build makes this flat feel much more cramped, too. I'm not getting bigger because I want to, you know. Still, going to be expecting you to deliver quadruple the results you have been to date now. Don't start getting cocky just because you can marry into money, playboy. Whoa! That was some real bitterness right there. Holmes, you aren't jealous, are you? Not at all. They say marriage is the grave of love, the cradle of despair, after all. I look forward to watching as you live out the rest of your mediocre, restricted years. Oh, Holmes. Oh, honey. Oh, you stole me away from Watson. You were like, she's your first love and I'm going to steal. I mean, you're just bitter you didn't steal me this time. Ouch. That's no way to talk about your friend's life. Fine. Then I'm going to put a curse on you so you spend the rest of your life single. What's that drawing supposed to be? It's a sketch of a magic circle. See? Looks really powerful, doesn't it? Watson, that magic circle. What is it? Do you recognize it? No, I was just thinking you really are terrible at sketching. Thought it was a squashed sea urchin. Leave me alone. Achoo! Oh my! There was me thinking you had finally returned home, and you have a cold. I thought you didn't catch those, my lady. I'm sorry. I see it really is too early to be leaving you in Watson's hands. Although it seems that he was at least able to stay this time. Just. I hope he hasn't caught a cold too. I'm worried about him now. I'm sure you have nothing to worry about. I only wish that he was suffering from your cold on your behalf too. Don't be mean. Only Holmes and I are allowed to bully him. That's a very twisted sense of love you have, my lady. You're one to talk. I mean, seriously, I learned it from watching you, Pendleton. I mean, seriously. He's like, I don't think you should have sweets. You're getting kind of chubby. I'm like, rude. I love Pendleton so much, but he's a little rude. But he's beautiful. I'm sorry. If he was like real and was like, I think you're getting a little chubby, you'd be like, shut up. You're probably right. You would accept it from anybody else. You'd be like, I will backhand you into next week, motherfucker. Pendleton, you'd be like, you're probably right. I'm just going to not eat for the rest of the month. Like, I love Pendleton. Still, my lady, I hope you won't allow yourself to be led astray by baseless rumors about Colonel Moran anymore. It would bring shame to the family name. How did you know? Your mind isn't difficult to read, my lady. Besides, ever since that rag published that article on him, their sales have tripled. Since then, they've been following up on it in every issue. What? You can't be serious. It just goes to show how much the people of London love their suspicious ghost stories. And that you and Watson still have a long way to go as detectives if you're still buying into them. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was so shocked that I couldn't even speak. Is it just me, or do you want an Otome game where you play as fucking Pendleton? I want to be Pendleton, and but we gotta date pretty boys. Because I don't know about Pendleton dating women. I just don't think that's gonna work. I need Pendleton to be gay in this, because I don't want to have to date hoes. I want to date pretty boys. But I'm just saying, I want to be Pendleton. I just want to have to be like, oh, seriously, well, that doesn't look good on you. And just like insult all the boys and make them love us. Because he's like the asshole character, you know? But instead of you trying to date the asshole, I want to be the asshole and be an asshole to everybody else. And them just like fawn over me. I think it'd be great. Somebody make this. For no particular reason, I cast my eyes over to the side of the bed and noticed the bouquet of blue stars there. Seeing them made me feel somehow calmer. Seeing these flowers makes it feel like Watson is still at my side. That sounded so gay, but okay. Somehow, I don't think you're actually feeling any remorse for your actions. Incidentally, my lady, I think you'll find that these flowers are beginning to wilt. Quite. Oh, quiet you! I was like, quite you? What? I was thinking she's like, quite. Like, yes, the flowers are. I know, I reversed some letters when I was reading. Ahem. Quiet you! Bring them some water then. Very well. Sends an eye roll under those closed eyes of his. All of a sudden, we heard the doorbell ring. Then, it sounded like a shop bell. Excuse me, is Spacey in? It's Watson! He came to see me! Escort him up to my room, please. Pendleton's like, I'm not having any of that. You were out all night, young lady. You are not seeing him behind any kind of closed door in a bedroom. I suppose I have no choice. He is your attending physician, after all. I can't very well turn him away. Somehow, Pendleton appeared cheerful as he spoke. Soon after, Watson opened the bedroom door. Aww. He brought her fresh flowers. How adorable. I thought I'd come see you and check if you're all right. How do you feel? Thank you. I feel much better from having seen you. Literally, I saw you like 2 hours ago, but it's okay. That's good. I brought you some new flowers, too. Well, those blue stars are dying, after all. Bah. Did you say something? Oh, no. They're beautiful flowers. I'll put them up right away. In the toilet. Don't be like that, Pendleton. I'll put them up in here. Pendleton is such a douche. I love him. Very well, very well. Regardless, I know when I'm not wanted, so I'll be leaving now. You're wanted by me, Pendleton. No doubt Pendleton was willing to leave like that was because he trusted in Watson. Or so I decided to tell myself. Okay, that's not a proper sentence, but okay. Thank you again for the flowers. Did you get them from Johnson? Yeah, she told me about a really interesting case, too. You want to hear about it? Oh, absolutely. Please do tell. I don't know why I'm making her so goddamn overdosing on sugar. Seeing him and hearing his voice was enough to instantly fill me with courage. But given how inexperienced we were, we would no doubt find ourselves face to face with challenging cases and difficult times again and again in the future. But that was exactly why I made sure to listen to him, now and in the future too. Is that... You never know with the dot. You're like, okay, no, it's not. And this might actually be the end. May their future be one of bliss. Okay, so that was actually the end. So we could have put this in the last part. It would have been like freaking... It would have just been an hour and 20 minutes, but too bad. So sad. We're gonna do the bad ending now. So, I mean, like, I hate to do this. I prefer to end with the good, and we look at a thing, and then we do the bad ending. But it is what it is, and you're just gonna have to suffer with me, okay? So, save one. Okay, so... No, that's... I think it was... No matter... Wait, we had to make a save... I think this is it, the one I did. Okay, so hold on. Scroll back up. Oh, hold on. Where'd my save one go? Save it no matter what I tried here. Okay. This is where we want. Okay, this is where we're going to... Oh, we're supposed to keep arguing. Okay. Even so, if his cold is truly as bad as you say, he must be feeling quite disconsolate. I really would like to pay him a visit. Oh! Oh! That's interesting. Oh, whoops. Whoops, I had it on auto. Shit. I never noticed the, like, you're losing love with them. I don't think we did that in Holmes's route. Damn. Anyway. Did we? I didn't notice. Anyway. Spacey, I didn't know Holmes meant so much to you. Watson? I could see it. Watson had become much more demoralized than before. I understand how you feel. I'm worried about him as well. But still, he won't be receiving any visitors for the present. Watson? So immovable was he on the matter that I had no choice but to relent. Okay. Oh, we could have actually just gone to next choice. Hold on. Whoops. Okay, hold on. Okay. Yes. There we go. I was like, I forgot we could do that here. I don't know what to do. If I remain here, I'm afraid I'll be more of a liability than a help. But I can't bring myself to flee and leave him behind to fight again. Oh, it's so traumatic. When we make the wrong decision, it's like, and that's like all our romance disappearing. Oh, I was unsure of what to do. Fight? Flee? What in this moment would let us both live? Okay. I don't got time to listen to this rot. I can't wait till we go down Jack's path. It's gonna be so fucking hard to do his voice through the whole goddamn thing. I'm not even kidding. It's gonna be a challenge. Oh, we have no choices in Watson versus Jack the Ripper, so it's just gonna load into probably wherever it differs. So, I'm basically skipping through the whole freaking chapter. So, okay, hold on a second. Okay, so this is okay. So I can put any weight on my leg. Perhaps it was a sudden release of tension, then it built up. Okay, so then he asked if her, we're like, I'm fine, Watson. I'll be up in about a minute, which I think we actually said in the last one, but. So now this should be the bad ending. This should be the wishes become prayers chapter. Yeah. So this is our ending chapter. So I don't know how long this is, but we'll see. We got like 45 minutes. So. I couldn't cause him more trouble than I already had. He reached out to me, but I couldn't bring myself to take his hand. Aw, it seemed as though there was something at the tip of his tongue, but after a moment he slowly lowered his hand in silence. This is gonna hurt, motherfuckers. But no sooner had our exchange taken place than I heard someone rushing in. I'm seriously wondering if we should do go do our good ending, get our destined end, then do our bad ending, and then read the epilogue. So it's like a misery sandwich or like a happy sandwich where we're like, hey, we have a good ending, woohoo! And then we're like, this is terrible, the bad ending. And then we, yay, do the happy epilogue. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing the good ending, doing the epilogue, and then ending with this. I'm just saying, I don't know. Like, let me know what you think. Because by the time I think you guys see this, and like whatever, I mean, I'll have already started down Akechi's route, but we probably won't be to the ending yet. So yeah, you know. And if we happen to be, I'll make a decision in Akechi's route, but I'll do whatever you guys suggest. But I'm thinking maybe we should, you know, do an ending sandwich and put the bad ending in the middle and end with the happy. I don't know. Anyway. But no sooner had our exchange taken place than I heard someone rushing in. My lady! Pendleton! From out of the fog, I espied Pendleton hurrying toward us. Oh, Pendleton, my hero! That should be the ill-fated ending in everything someone's path is like Pendleton sweeps us off our feet and takes us away from them. And we're like, goodbye, Watson, I'm going to marry Pendleton! And he's like, It'd be good for me because we get to marry Pendleton, but it would still hurt, but it would still be great. I don't know. Anyway. I was just on my way to come and pick you up when I saw a band of Scotland Yard officers hurrying in this direction. I feared you might have been caught up in something dangerous, and from the look of it, I was right. I'm sorry, Pendleton. You should be. Had I only waited in front of Holmes and Watson's office for him to arrive, none of this might have happened. But beyond that, if not for my fateful visit to Baker Street, the incidents would never have happened in the first place. I'm sorry, Watson. If only I hadn't tried to visit the office on my own. So you did go to the office? His face grew all the more downcast. But why? Because I had hoped to talk with you. These past few days, you've constantly been avoiding me. And not only that, I wish to apologize to you regarding what happened the other day, too. That's still a reason to come to a place like this alone. I avoided you because I was worried about you, not because... If you'll excuse me, both of you. Pendleton quickly interjected, cutting off Watson. I don't feel this is the time or place for an argument. Pendleton, that aside, Watson, I believe you have your priorities out of order. Is there not something you ought to be doing rather than casting aspersions at her? No, Pendleton, he's not wrong. Quiet, my lady. Oh, we're about to get a verbal bitch slap from fucking Pendleton. I love this. I should think that any man who neglects to extend a helping hand to a lady unable to stand on her own is not fit to be called a gentleman. Pendleton! He offered, but I told him I was all right. Those words can often be rather lacking in credibility, coming from you. Pendleton took hold of my arm, carefully helping me to my feet. The more difficult a task is for you, the greater you tend to overexert yourself after all. I kind of feel so bad for Watson right now because Pendleton is being such a bitch, but I love Pendleton so much that it's like, I can't be mad. I saw Watson clench his fists tightly, knuckles whitening. I couldn't help but feel uneasy, seeing him begin to brood. You ought to go back to the mansion with Pendleton and rest, Spacey. You've been through a lot today. But what about you? I'm going to aid Scotland Yard in the pursuit of Colonel Moran and Jack the Ripper. Would you be all right with that, Mr. Holmes? I take no issue with it, but what about you, William? Are you certain that's what you wish to do? Why is every single time we do his voices... I don't know. Whatever. Pendleton is far more dependable a man than I, after all. Yeah, I know, right? I'm sorry, I love Pendleton. Quiet as it was difficult to make out Watson's reply, but there could be no doubt of the anguish that went hand in hand with feelings of helplessness. I felt my chest tighten at the sight. However... Watson, please look after her, Pendleton. Before I was able to say any more, Watson had already dashed off to join Scotland Yard. Oh dear, there is such a thing as being over-honest. William has ever been a kind-hearted soul, even as a child, but he does possess the unfortunate habit of yielding to others a bit prematurely. Mr. Holmes gave a small sigh. Be that as it may, just leave him to me. For now, you ought to return home and get some much-needed rest. All right. Ultimately, all I could do was watch as Mr. Holmes disappeared back into the fog to join up with Watson in Scotland Yard. Oh, we ought to be on our way too, my lady. Very well. Leaning on Pendleton for support, I trudged out of the alleyway. But one thought pervaded my mind. Why did I reject his hand when he extended it to me? Because I made all the bad decisions and you got the bad ending. Sorry. Had I not been so insistent on demonstrating my independence and simply accepted his aid, I doubt he would have left with such an expression on his face. I was overwhelmed by pangs of regret. Several days had passed since my ill-fated attempt to visit Watson at his Baker Street office. For my own safety, I had been forbidden by Pendleton from attending school until further notice. Several days later, Holmes and Watson came to visit me at the mansion. Holmes had yet to be cleared of all suspicion, but his continued assistance with Scotland Yard's investigation had seen the police ease upon the surveillance of him. But in spite of Holmes's aid, it sounded as though no one was the wiser as to where Colonel Moran or Jack the Ripper had absconded to. Even so, I was overjoyed that the two had come to see me. Thank you so much for coming. It's quite the relief to see both of you together again. I'm pleased to see you in good health as well, Miss Whitley. I'd expected to find your temperament much more meek in light of the incident several days past, but I see my fears were misplaced. Cheeky as ever. I'm not sure I like what you're implying. You have the right of it, Holmes. If anything, she has a bit too much pent-up energy at the moment. Well, that's because I'm not having sex with Watson in the friggin' park. You won't help me with my pent-up energy, Pendleton. Wait, what? Never mind. Not what he meant. Come now. You too, Pendleton. You too, Pendleton. Watson? Huh? Oh, my apologies. I was just caught up in my relief to see you doing so well. Watson forced a smile. Watson, his behavior was concerning, but I couldn't bring myself to press the matter further. Watson continued to nod and smile as we talked, but much of the time seemed to be in deep reflection, his thoughts elsewhere. He remained that way for the entirety of their visit, even when the time came to see the two of them out to the front door. See the two of them to the front door, not out to the front door. Okay. Perhaps I ought to ask him if anything is amiss before it's too late. So focused on my thoughts was I that I neglected to pay attention to where I placed my feet. Ah! Miss Whitley! My lady! Watch out, Spacey! They're all like, idiot! I'm sure Pendleton's more like, idiot. With one awkward step, I caught my toes on the carpet in front of the stairs. Oh, God. Reflexively, I stretched my arms out, hoping to break my fall, but there was no need in the end. I see you're still as lacking in composure as ever, Miss Whitley. I thought she was going to fall down the stairs and die or something, and I was like, oh my God, this is ill-fated is right. Shit. Holmes? Fortunately, Holmes had reacted quickly, interposing himself, sorry. Thank you for your swift action, Holmes. But you really ought to exercise greater care where you step, my lady. Ensuring your safety is a challenging task at the best of times, without having to keep a close watch over your every step. I'm sorry, my mind was just someplace else. And now Watson feels dejected because he didn't catch her and it's just ruined everything. See? Your clumsiness has ruined everything. You should have just fallen down the stairs and broken your neck and died. That's a terrible thing to say. Oh my God, I'm a horrible human being. I'm sorry. I'll go sit in the corner later. Thank you very much for catching me, Holmes. It's well and good to carve out some time to think, but I recommend you choose a time and place of your future reveries more wisely. Unlike me, you don't quite have it in you to do two things at once. I'll endeavor to be more cautious. I apologize for worrying you as well, Watson. Oh, I'm just glad you're not hurt. Watson? Though his voice was weak, I could see that his fists were tightly clenched. A sense of gloom hung about him, as though he blamed himself, perhaps for my unfortunate near fall. Watson, what's wrong? Are you sure you're all right? It's nothing. But you've looked so downcast all day. I don't think I haven't noticed. Really, it's nothing. But I said it's nothing. I'm fine. He spun about and in doing so knocked away the hand that I had gingerly extended toward him with his own. I felt a sting in my palm. We were like reaching up. Watson, I'm fine. Like, oh, Watson, harsh. Oh. That it had hurt must have shown in my expression, for Watson froze in horror, realizing what he had done. Yeah, for fuck's sake, dude! Spacey, I'm so sorry, It's all right, Watson. I tried to reassure him I was fine. It felt as though if I didn't, Watson would only blame himself all the more for what he had done. It was my fault. I shouldn't have tried to force an answer out of you. Watson! Before I could stop him, Watson had turned and bolted out the door. Wait, Watson! Miss Whitley, could I ask you to just leave him be for now? Holmes, that's physically impossible for me. I'm a nosy Nelly. You're acting as though you're perfectly fine will simply cause him to heap blame upon himself. But in that case, I shall go and fetch him in your place. Would that be well with you, my lady? I began to open my mouth, but found myself unable to muster the words to reply. Watson hurried out of the mansion before finally coming to a halt in the outer yard. He didn't run that far. I mean, Jesus. I mean, maybe our fuck it. The stairs to the door were like, it's about 2 miles. So we're just going to watch him run. I mean, Jesus. Well, at least you didn't venture too far. Notice he ran. Stop there. 2 seconds later, Pendleton catches up. Pendleton's not breathing heavily. I'm just saying. Pendleton, I'm so sorry. I never should have done that to... Lately, it seems all I see you doing is apologizing, sulking, or forcing yourself to smile. Whatever your concern, your behavior is giving those around you good cause to worry. You're a very kind young man at heart, but by the same token, very inept and awkward as well. Pendleton. No fucking sugarcoating with him. And your tendency to insist you're quite all right, even when you very clearly are not, is painfully similar to Lady Spacey's too. Watson hung his head. All this time, I've been thinking only of myself. The reason I've been keeping her at a distance isn't because I fear I might cause her harm, or because I want to protect her from fear. It's because I know that seeing her in such a state would hurt me. To truly protect someone, or come to be relied upon by them, is far more difficult a thing to achieve than many would lead you to think. Only you, looking plainly at your own self, can decide whether you want to continue to make strides toward that goal, or simply give up. Pendleton, you're a diligent young man, to be sure, but you ought to learn to rely on others now and again instead of stubbornly trying to tackle every problem on your own. You're still in the blush of youth, after all. Pendleton's like, me, I'm like 500 fucking years old. I'm an ageless prince. I fucking love Pendleton. If you neglect to do so, then no matter how much time passes, you'll never find yourself able to safeguard her. I just can't protect her like you can. He's like, well, of course, I'm fucking amazing. I'm Pendleton, motherfucker. I'm Pendleton, bitch. Watson's voice was trembling. Nor can I support her in the way, even the way Holmes can. What am I playing at? As things stand, I've no right to presume myself her defender. Watson hung his head, shoulders shaking, as Pendleton looked on in silence. From afar, Holmes and I overheard them as they spoke. Watson, all this time I've depended on him, never realizing the pain he was in. Even as the pain in my arm subsided, the ache of seeing a friend in such distress settled afresh on my heart. I'm so sorry, Watson. Miss Whitley, as you're no doubt aware, I see little gain in beating around the bush, and so I shall ask you plainly. What is Watson to you? His expression was serious, even searching. His concern for Watson was evident in every word. Well, Watson is very important to me. He's a good man and a good friend. And that's why I don't wish to cause him greater trouble than I already have. I see. Holmes nodded slowly, but said nothing more. Watson, oh, this hurts. We're rejecting him. Oh, usually we're the ones getting rejected in the game's like, no, why did you reject me? And this time we're like, he's a pal. Oh, we broke his heart. This is like the second time we broke his heart. We broke his heart in Holmes's route when he was like, oh, Holmes, you took my girlfriend. Anyway, Watson stood there outside, trembling. It was strange to see him appear in that moment, so small and lonely. I want to be at his side. I want to tell him things will be all right and lend my support in whatever way I'm able. But I fear that would only serve to trouble him all the more. I don't want to pile still greater worry upon him. In the end, I was only able to stand quiet, watching him from a distance. It was some time later, thanks to the efforts of Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard was able to locate Spellbound's hideout. Mounting a raid on said hideout, they managed to discover conclusive proof of the clandestine organization's existence, and in doing so, cleared Holmes of the charges against him. However, by the time they arrived, Colonel Moran had already vanished, and there was left behind no indication as to where he or Jack the Ripper may have disappeared to. As his case unfolded in the background, I meanwhile began to attend classes at Harrington Academy for the first time in what seemed like weeks.
I'm glad to see you in good health, Miss Whitley. I was quite concerned when I received word you had come down with a serious cold. See, some do say that willpower and
Resoluteness. Oh my god, I can't read.
resoluteness can turn around the fortunes of the ill, however. If you had seemed down, I would have been glad to suffuse you with a bit of my own can-do candor.
Sir, I'm not certain that would be good. Or safe. If you were to lose any of what little vivacity you possess, I fear you would be reduced to some unfortunate husk or corpse.
Why, I had no idea you were so concerned for my well-being. As an instructor, I swell with pride to think of the high caliber of my students.
Thank you for saying so. And by the by, sir, I couldn't help but notice a stack of papers he had folded under his arm. Those papers you have seem to be positioned rather precariously, wouldn't you say?
What? Good gracious, that was close. I was just an inch away from seeing the whole lot of them spill across the floor.
English history, I take it?
Yes, the topic is the royal family in the Middle Ages and the various changes to the right of succession. I was on my way to place them in the reference room. I would typically ask Akechi since he makes frequent use of the reference room after classes have concluded, but he's not here.
And then allow me to help, sir.
But you've only just recovered from your illness.
I've spent so long cooped up at home that now that I've returned, it's my express intention to be as active as possible. So please, rely on me. With Mr. Mackenzie's papers firmly in hand, I exited the classroom and made my way toward the reference room. Right, now just down these stairs and straight ahead. Oh gosh, she's gonna fucking fall. I began my descent, taking one stair at a time as I tried to maintain perfect balance and poise. Uh-oh! Told you. Suddenly, but perhaps inevitably, the set of papers atop the stack slid forward and fell to the floor with a thud. And as misfortune would have it, it was soon followed by several others. What should I do? Pick them up, stupid. With so many papers still in hand, I couldn't risk bending low to pick up those that had fallen, lest the rest of the stack complete its carpeting of the floor. So you go down, you set them on a step, when you're standing there, the stairs go up, one's like a shelf, you set them down, pick up the papers, put them on the stack, and then pick them back up! Jesus, not fucking genius. Are you alright? You seem to have your hands full there. I'm just assuming it's Watson. So much of my attention had been focused on the mess before me that the familiar, rather upbeat voice took me by surprise. But before I could say anything, there he was, stooping to pick up the papers I had dropped. Watson.
That's quite the load you're hefting there. Let me carry those for you.
Thank you.
Did Mr. Mackenzie ask you to carry all these? There seems to be quite a bit here in English history.
Yes, these are his papers. He didn't ask me to do it, though. I volunteered myself. I spent quite enough time pacing back and forth in the mansion. What I need now is some proper exercise.
Indeed. Willingly taking on work does sound like the sort of thing you would do.
Watson continued to collect the papers, moving up and down the stairs as his hands swept up each piece. Oh, what happened to your hand? I don't recall it being like that this morning.
Oh, it's nothing much. Kiichi and I were just doing...
Did he finally grow so irritated at the number of times you've forgotten your homework that he decided to take his sword to you?
Of course not. Even a Kiichi wouldn't go that far.
Watson moved into a position that obscured my view of his injured hand, seeming now self-conscious at being asked about it. Oh, once we're finished with this, let's go and get that looked at, all right?
But it really is all right, I swear.
I don't believe that for a minute. You're coming with me, all right? In the end, Watson didn't object or put up a struggle, and I was able to convince him to accompany me to the courtyard. No matter how insignificant his injury may have appeared, I simply couldn't bring myself to ignore it. Availing myself of some equipment from the nurse's office, I set about tending to it.
Do you typically have difficulty with tasks that require a dexterous touch like this?
I'm simply unused to the process, that's all. I suppose that makes sense. The more experience one gains at a task, the more naturally they can perform it. Thank you, Spacey. They say wounds treated by others heal faster than those one treats oneself, so I'm sure it'll be back to normal in no time at all.
I wish there was more I could do for you, but if this helps your hand heal up, I'll be glad for it.
Listen, Spacey.
Watson was now looking at me directly, his eyes more serious than usual. Touched with a hint of unease, I nonetheless met his gaze as he spoke. See what I mean? Like, he's like little Watson Jr., and then the other one, it's like man Watson. But why did none of the other ones grow up in the epilogue? It's just him, just Watson. Watson all of a sudden had a growth spurt. It was like, bam, I'm like a man now. And everyone else is like, we're still like 12. The fuck? It's literally like, you know, when you see like the game characters, like, here's my characters, and then they have the chibi version. Everyone is the chibi version, and he's like the normal character version, like in the epilogue. It's fucking weird. I know I talked about it a lot, but it still weirds me out. I don't know.
Right now, I got work cut out for me just trying to raise myself up. And because of that, I can't take your hand in confidence. But I promise you, I'm going to continue striving so that one day, I'll be able to say with both courage and certainty that I can protect you. So for now, I just want to thank you. I'm truly grateful to you for, well, many things really. And I have been for a long time. That's the plain truth.
His words, spoken with openness and honesty. His words, spoken with openness and... I would think it's supposed to be honesty, not honestly. Nevertheless, pierced me like daggers. Watson's earnest confession filled me with both happiness and sadness, and I knew not which prompted the tears that welled up in my eyes. But I knew I ought not to cry. I didn't wish to heap upon him any further worry over me. You're welcome, Watson. I gently placed my hand atop his, freshly wrapped with a bandage.
What is it, Spacey?
Nothing!
No, I'm just kidding.
A prayer. A prayer for your hand to mend as soon as possible. And I closed my eyes and prayed that the pain Watson felt, both within and without, would pass quickly, that his hard work and determination would be rewarded, and that in some small way he would understand the feelings that swelled in my own heart that I had been unable to confess to him. With my hand atop his own, I noticed that, despite everything, his hands had not lost their warmth, and for that I was glad. So, ill-fated end. So the ill-fated end is basically, we're just making a promise to be together at some point, but maybe it'll never happen. But still, in a way, the ill-fated end is almost not bad. I guess it's just the like, oh, we don't get the happy, like, we're together. It's just the someday in the future, maybe or not. And it's open-ended. You know what I mean? But you could take the positive approach and be like, he'll work, and then it'll just take, and then someday later they'll get together and it'll be okay. They just won't have as much time together as they do as getting together at 17 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's that. Now, I noticed, because I looked and I wanted to see, and I know we still don't have all of Holmes' CGs. I'm assuming we don't get them because we're missing some of Watson's too. You know what I mean? Like, that one came in our epilogue, but we're missing some of his too. So, and we did everything. Like with Holmes, we didn't do everything by the book. Like, we got Holmes. It's weird that you can't. No, you can't. Like, it's got all the characters up at the top, but you see, like, up here, and I'm thinking you could, like, toggle between them, but you can't, so that's weird. Anyway. But wait a minute. So it's weird, because there's Lupin and Jack, and then Akechi, but I saw in a recommended route order that you do Holmes, Watson, and then Akechi. And then do... Whoopsie. Ah! I keep hitting the wrong button. I'm not very smart. Anyway. But, so, like... Okay, so this one doesn't skip to the next. That's right, it doesn't. I don't like that. But, in this one at least... Look at his precious face. He's adorable. She's like, oh my god, what? I'm assuming by the end, because some of them might come during some of the other, because we have like the Kobayashi ending. We have the, I love this.
I love this one so much. Can we just crop her out of this? Because look how adorable he looks with the fucking little birds on his head. Look at it. Look at these fucking little birds. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's such a fucking Disney princess. Oh my god. But you know what I mean? So like we have a Kobayashi ending, and then we have the Marple kind of ending, and then we have we have Baker Street Boys ending. Those might be the only other three. But those, so maybe we'll get the other ones during there. Because I would think at some point we're gonna choose something that would hopefully give us this. We're gonna make a choice where this should show up. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, that was only the one. Okay. Look at how pissed Watson looks. He's like kicking. Yeah, love it. There's no like just Watson on his own, because she kind of ruins things. No offense, but like the heroines always ruin the things because they're always stupid. Like that. What is with the fucking hair? It drives me crazy. And like again, she has no nose. It's fucking weird. Like I know it's just the art style, but what is? Oh god, the Precious Moments? Is that what they were called back in the day? Like at that. What I'm thinking, does anybody remember? That's what she fucking looks like. And that's what like all of them, their little chibiness kind of looks like. I mean, look at him in this one. He's kind of like I love that. He's so adorable. She ruins it though. She really does. But there's no Just Watson. This is adorable though. She's not terrible in all of them. Like this one, she's okay. Her eyes are way too big, but you know, we're used to that. But see how drastically different he looks? Like, it's so weird. And her terrible fucking hair. Like, what is the deal with that? Like, why? Who has a short layer around the like, you know how scraggly and like stringy your hair would look if you had the top layer like this and then you had an underlayer that was longer, like a faux mullet? Like, it's like terrifying. Why do they do that? Like, there was literally no Watson on his own picture. Like, no alone Watson. Although that's kind of adorable. I wish there was just a little Pendleton face like peeking out back here. Like, what are you doing? Because look, she's in bed. He like just showed up and we're in bed. Like, Jesus. Pendleton's like, I'll leave. No, not leaving. How adorable. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Like, I love the way he looks in this, but I don't, but she's, I'm just trying to debate. Do we end on this one? Because she kind of ruins it, though, although he's adorable. But this one's also a kind of adorable. Like, that's like our epilogue one. I kind of love this one. Although he looks like 25 in this. Like, I don't know what the deal's going on. But anyway, we don't have a Just Watson. I mean, I don't know. But that's the thing that they ruin it. It's like sometimes we need the kiss CG, okay? I need that in my life, but sometimes I just want to see just our pretty boy alone without Derp Girl in it, okay? That's all I'm saying. But anyway. But yeah, so we will start Akechi's route in the next part. Yeah. Which for me is going to be a while cuz I got to do some Code Realize cuz I'm kind of behind on that one. I haven't figured out, like, I was trying to do, like, okay, we'll do Watson's route and then I'll go. But I just kind of forgot because Holmes was the first one we did. So we did the full game, right? So I didn't realize that, oh my God, this is long. We get a lot of parts out of this, you know, for skipping through the first part. You know what I mean? Skipping through 90% of the game. Like, the last chapters they're pretty long, but we get quite a few chapters that are just for the guys. So that's actually pretty cool. I mean, I like that. As opposed to games where you're like, okay, it's like this, and then it's just the last chapter that's different. This has a lot of early chapters where you're kind of meeting people. And then it's got like at least, what, 3 or 4 chapters for just them. And they're long, so it takes a while. So, I mean, we got quite a few parts out of this. I wasn't expecting, I don't know why I was thinking, oh, it'll be like 2, 3 part. Like, it won't take too long. Took way longer than I thought. So I was like, shit. But it'd been a while since I played this. Because I played all of Code Realize. I played, like, what, 5 or 6 parts of that? So, yeah, so, we'll figure it out. Like, I got to catch up with that one before we come back. So it'll be a while for me till I record back to Akechi, but you won't notice. It won't be tomorrow. It'll be the day after, like normal. But you won't notice, but I will, because you'll notice when we go to Akechi's route 2 days from now. I'll be like, it's been like a month since I played this game. It'll probably be like a week or so, but anyway. But yeah, so I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.